Hello everyone, welcome to English Shorthand classes. Exercise 24. Get ready for the dictation. Start. It gives me great pleasure to be here in your midst where businessmen, leaders and captains of industry and trade from the European Union sit together with the captains of industry of our country. I have always believed with Lord Keynes that in the final analysis, businessmen are the custodians of the possibility of survival of human civilization, and therefore, if business leaders think right, I think our societies and our polities can look to the future with hope and confidence. Therefore, I greatly welcome this opportunity to interact with such an outstanding group of leaders of business and industry. Prime Minister has already mentioned that we had a very fruitful meeting with him and the President and the members of the European Commission, and tomorrow we will have a bilateral meeting where we will discuss the further development of our relations with the United Kingdom. Under the presidentship of Prime Minister, we have made a very good progress in our strategic partnership. I am grateful to you, Prime Minister, for the leadership you have given to the process of widening and deepening of our relationship with the European Union. We live in a world of constant change, and the success belongs to those who are adept at mastering processes of change. In our own times, few leaders of countries have shown that much expertise in effective management of change processes than Prime Minister. Therefore, what he has told you this afternoon, I think I heartily agree. Those are the ways to manage processes of change, and the moral of what he has been saying is similar to what I have been saying to our own people. Do not be too fearful of change. Learn to live with change, though, of course, governments have the responsibility to smoothen the processes of change, smoothen the transitional pain that may at some times accompany the processes of change. So, what Prime Minister has told you this evening, I heartily support. It's for me and for my colleagues a great delight that we have this opportunity to interact with leaders of European and Indian business. I sincerely believe that in the modern world, the relationship between governments is increasingly mediated through and influenced by the relationship between the civil society and the business community. It is on the foundation of people to people and business to business relations that we in government try to build state to state relations. India and the EU have deep and abiding ties comprising political, cultural, social, and economic relations. We are the largest democracies of the world. We cherish the freedoms that democracy offers. We share a common belief in pluralism, consultations, and consensus, in the rule of law and in peace. For in peace and instability, we have the foundations necessary for development and economic growth within the framework of an open society and an open economy. The terrorist attacks on July 7 this year in London are an unfortunate affirmation of our view that terrorism, by whatever name, can have no place in a civilized society. I am emphasizing this in this business summit because one of the aims of terrorism is to cause economic instability all round. I hope that as India and EU join hands today to strengthen our economic ties, one aspect of those ties must be to ensure peace in our lands. We need each other's strong spot in that endeavor. We meet here today at a time when the Indian economy is once again on an upward growth path. For 2 years in a row, we have had upwards of 7% growth in our national income. This year, we expect to repeat that performance. I am convinced that we will sustain this rate of growth, perhaps even improve upon it in the next few years. This has the potential of transforming our economy in many ways. It is now possible as never before for us to visualize an India without poverty, without disease, and without scourge of extreme deprivation. There is an air of optimism, and as a believer in the ideas of Lord Keynes, I am convinced that positive expectations have a way of yielding positive outcomes. The process of economic reforms initiated by us in the early 90s has yielded rich dividends in many ways. We are committed to pursuing these reforms in a manner that the benefits percolate to all sections of our society, especially our rural poor. I have often said that we must walk on two legs, pursuing greater efficiency and simultaneously pursuing greater equity in the working of the economy. I do believe that if the fruits of higher economic growth are better shared, this in itself will stimulate further growth. We see the EU as a natural partner in our economic development. For centuries, long before the colonial era began, Indians and Europeans have been engaged in commerce. India has had civilization and commercial links with different nationalities within Europe. We must build on those links by renewing the economic, social, and cultural basis of our relationship. Stop.